So, guys, I want to go off and start and say I have not ran the raid. I have not done Black Armory stuff yet. My power level is not high enough. I'm about to hit, I'm at 600, I think. I'm roughly at 600, okay? But my only thing that I have right now, there's a few things that I have concerns right now with Destiny. It's not even concerns, it's things that I truly hope that they fix this rolling into Destiny 3, which I assume will be released next year, if I had to guess, because I don't think they're going to do another expansion or anything. They're going to finish up this season with the Black Armory Season Pass, and then they're going to cut it. And this is the first time I'm going through all this content, yada yada. I'm literally got our clan together right now and trying to add people who are currently in the same state that me and my buddies are at, and we're just getting to this content because we haven't played since last year. We got bored with it last year. We waited until they did all this content updates and things like that. But one of the things is the armor, the vault. The vault is trash, okay? Yes, they at least separate things into, it's a cluster. It's a giant clusterfuck right now, okay? So the biggest thing is it separates it into, like, armor, right? And it's just like, okay, here's all your armor, right? And it's just arms, chest, boots, and they at least separate it into those categories, right? But right next to that, you're going to have weapons, or you're going to have shaders, or you're going to have your vehicles, and it's just all lined up like this. And it's just all lined up, and it's just a load of ridiculousness is what it is. Because what needs to be done is, let's just say that they separate out into different cubes, right? Here's your armor, here's your weapons, here's your shaders, and here's all your vehicles. Literally, if they separate it out into different sections to where it's not shit freaking cluster fuckery up there, like I was saying, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal, right? But it's just so ridiculous on how that vault is done, and it needs to be changed, which I really hope they do something with it, right? And it could literally be like RB on the controllers, for instance, would switch you to one section to the other, or they could do a tab. They could do tabs at the top, and RB would switch you from freaking vehicles to shaders to this and to that, and it would you just go through the tabs at the top. I mean, it would literally be that much simpler. I could draw it out, you know, or I could Photoshop it in of how freaking simple it would be to set that up, or at least the UI part of it. I don't know about technical parts and things like that. It may be a pain in the ass. I don't know, depending on how quickly people filter through and things like that. But that's my thoughts on that. Also, with that being said, you go in and you sort it by, and then being able to sort it by rarity or by sets, where all the sets group up together, right? And then have a toggle button where you don't hold it, you push it, or not toggle, but a switch, right? I forget what it's called, toggle on, toggle off, I think is what it is. So, or it's not a press, it's an on and off, and it's just always shows power level, always shows resistant, what it's resistant to, and then for weapons it would show what the actual element effect is, right? Or the you know, whether it's arc, solar, or arc, solar, or flare, I think, right? Or arc, solar, and void. Jesus. But that's that on the vault. Next up is perks. There's a lot of perks on weapons that don't feel powerful. And I've been watching videos on this too, and it's something that I'm noticing more and more, right, as I'm playing. And it's not something that I rolled in ignorant, right, to everything. I just came in blind when I first started playing the DLCs, and also Forsaken. I just rolled completely blind. I had no idea. I was like, I've heard about the Dreaming City. I heard about how you hunt the Barrens. I heard about all this stuff, but I never did any of it. I never watched videos or anything until now, right, going through my first Destiny character. And rolling in blind, Forsaken, once again, and I have other videos talking about it, but I don't think went into as much detail as I'm going to now. But the Forsaken Shores was fantastic. I had a great time hunting the Barrens. All that stuff was great, right? Especially compared to some of the other DLCs, right? And they really did a great job in the other DLCs with the adventures, because the adventures themselves felt like strikes. And they probably, I can't remember, but they probably made a few of those adventures actual strikes, because that's what they do. In story mission bosses, they actually made strike bosses too. Some people say it's lazy. I say it's just a way to really to put back in content, and what they can do is add different variants, abilities, things like that to the monsters, or increase power level for better drops. They have a lot of stuff that they should do. to increase difficulty, increase drop chances. But a lot of stuff that is really untouched and they haven't done, and probably is because they've just been playing cleanup and trying to rehash all this stuff that should have been done in the first place, but they're just trying to play cleanup now, or they're just waiting in general for Destiny 3, which that's what I actually think is happening. Once Destiny 3 comes out, dear God, I hope that they fix all this shit, or at least make an effort to fix it. It's not gonna, I don't want it to be, which this is obviously some conspiracy theory shit here, but I don't want it to be like Destiny 1 and 2, to where 1, okay, it was a good time, this is a great concept, but not the stuff that they said is promised. And then it rolls into a year and a half later, or whatever, until the game's actually to a fun, like with Taken, or Taken King, until everything, all the shit's fixed and it's a good time again, right? I don't want that. And then rolled right into Destiny 2, it's the same thing. Everything isn't fixed until literally after year 1. Everything's fixed up, everybody's having a good time, there's a lot of things to do, weeklies, dailies, different events that are happening. The actual zone activities are fun to do, and they're a good time. Obviously they get stale after a while, but there's still, like, for the Blinding Well, you have tier 1 through 3, and 3, by the way, is just absolutely, it's crazy and it's a lot of fun, but once again it'll probably get old. And I've only done it, and I did it for like an hour last night, and it was already starting to get old, because that's just how it is. And then rolling into Nightfalls, which is actually really cool how they did the score system, but it kind of leaves a lot to be desired. But let me explain. So, for those of you who have done Nightfalls, you understand you can put modifiers on them and improve the score. I think there's a better way to do that. I don't have an answer right now, and I look a lot towards obviously. Diablo. I'm a very big Diablo fan. I don't play it as much as I used to. I play it on my Switch now, but the one thing that they really pushed for in Diablo was making it so the replayability on it was thick, right? It's high replayability. People have, like, I bought the game 4 times. Like, it's actually ridiculous, right? Because I enjoyed it on my 360, I enjoyed it on the Xbox, or I'm sorry, Xbox 360, PC, PS4, and then my Switch, right? All good time. And then here we go rolling in, and like I said, I have it on my Switch now. It just works. And then obviously the big giant screw up that they're doing with this whole Diablo's Immortals thing, that's not what people want right now, but people need to chill out about that, I think, because 2 different teams. But it's not justifying. It doesn't really justify that it's made by a Chinese company who is known for mega microtransactions, and I hope that they don't screw that whole entire thing up, which could be done. It really could. But anyway, back on topic. Destiny. I'm in the Dreaming City. Fantastic. Systems that need to be done. You need to have weapons that feel impactful. That's part of the reason why people like using the Thunderlord. That's part of the reason why people love the exotics in that game, is because they all feel unique and impactful. When you switch from like the Darcy to the freaking sword that throws energy and stuff like that. Obviously, you can't have every single weapon feel like that, right? This isn't. I mean, mind you, Borderlands does a pretty damn good job at, like, all their unique stuff, but I think Destiny has some other variants that make their weapons even more unique than that. And on top of that, the armor, the exotics, and stuff like that. I don't know. My biggest thing with how RPGs, and I've said my biggest, by the way, there's a lot of big things, to be honest with you, to be talked about this game, because it's a fantastic game for where it's at, and I'm having a great time. Me and my buddies are having a good time with it right now. Like I said, apply for the clan. Daddy let us. Thank you. Come again. And PC only, by the way. And the game is also under-loved and appreciated for how beautiful this game is, right? And mind you, I'm running at a 2K 144 hertz monitor. I got the Predator, and the game is gorgeous. It really is. I'll let you know a little bit more, but that's my 2 cents on a little bit of everything that I've done so far and touched on. I'm pretty interested to get into the raids. I've only done the first raid. I have done the raid before. I did the first Leviathan raid, and it was fun when we did it. I haven't done increased difficulties, and I haven't done the other layer or the other 2 or 3 raids that have been released or whatever since then, or raid layers. So that's something that we'll have to get into and talk about later. But that's where I'm at. I think all this stuff, Destiny 2 to 3, is going to be a big jump, if they're not idiots again. And it may not even be idiots. It's that they're undertaking more than they can handle at a time, right? I know they have like 300 and some people plus people working on this game, but they do it to a scale of MMO, and they're on time crunches, and they just keep having to fix stuff and fix stuff and fix stuff because somebody thought it was a good idea to make this game simpler, and people wanted it more RPG-like, and it's just a lot of stuff that they need to focus on, because I think they finally realized what the community right now is just loot collector 2019 now, where you just go and you collect loot and lore and stuff like that, but it's still fun to do and just go in and shoot stuff for a good time, I guess. Also, Trials of the Nine is gone. Apparently, that's a big deal for PvP players. I was watching on that. Iron Banner is fun, but if you aren't good, you're gonna have a fucking awful time. So to just heads up on that. If you're doing Iron Banner, make sure you go balls to the walls and use pulse rifles and hand cannons, because that's what you're gonna have a good time with, unless you're a marksman and you can use sniper rifles, right? So that's a pro tip for you. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day right now. That's my small 11-minute rant of nonstop talking about Destiny 2, Diablo, what they need to do, what's probably going to be done, and what's not going to happen, I assume, until Destiny 3. So, like, comment, subscribe, your thoughts on Destiny 2 and other things that are going. My car rant. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, guys. Peace out. Oh, follow the stream, by the way. Twitch.tv/SinFizzy, SinFizzy_. Hit your boy up, okay? Same thing, SinFizzy on Twitter and Insta too. Peace.